Lovely.
And then also I had some about mental health, which is it's really scary out there with the anxiety, but hi, everybody. Alita Hernandez, rebooted mindset. Another day, another Tuesday, 6 p.m. Another show for you today. I have a special guest today. We're doing some testimonial. It's going to be really, really good. So I hope you guys tune in. Have questions, please put them in the comments. It would be awesome to hear it. And I'm just making sure my phone is off right now because it did ring, of course. But anyway, so today I have DJ Miami Mike, and he's going to talk about his journey, basically his journey from being sick to healthy, and just incredible challenges he's gone through, and just to show you that you can do it too. There's healing. You can heal in so many ways. And a lot of people believe that once they're sick, that's it. You know, the doctor gives you the diagnosis, and you're like, oh, the diagnosis is grim or whatever. Don't believe that. Don't let negativity stop you from your life. You have to be able to understand that you can still help yourself. Doctors are human too, and they study and they only know what they know. Okay, and unless they study other things, they only know what they learned from that book, and that's it. So you have to use your own mind and get second opinions and do things for yourself to get healthy. There's so much information on the internet. You just have to learn how to search for it and be able to navigate through all the things that are out there. So so DJ Mike will be on in a little bit. I did send him the link, and we're just waiting. Sometimes the internet gets funky right now because at this time, like, everybody's on, you know? So we're talking about health. So before he comes on, I just want to talk about health and the journey that I've gone through. So it has been 7 years now that I have really committed myself to bettering my life. Um, and I mean, not just physically, but mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. It's a combination, it's a combo. Okay, you have to do all of it in order to become a better person. You have to. There's no way. There's always something in each area that you have to tweak and you have to do in order to change your mindset, right? And I talk about mindset all the time. That's why it's rebooted mindset. Um, and what that means is basically changing your opinion about yourself and your opinion about your life. Okay, so what I'm saying is that there was a point in my life that I wasn't happy, and I guess I wasn't happy with myself, and I didn't realize that I wasn't happy with myself. I wasn't happy the way I looked. I was happy with, physical things. I wasn't happy emotional things. I had things lingering for years and years, and like, why am I carrying all this baggage? I didn't understand, and anyway, so it takes a long time. I just said, one sec. I'm trying to get it. Send it. Trying to get this link over to Miami Mike, and for some reason he's not getting it. So I'm so sorry. I have a pause here, but I'll try to keep talking. And anyway, I'll try a different way if he doesn't get it. But JC, if you're on, can you help Miami Mike? Because for some reason, I don't know, my text is not going through or something. If you're on, I appreciate it. Just send him the link that I sent you before. Hola, Carlos. Thanks for being here. And I appreciate anybody who comes to join us. So I was talking about health. So what I'm saying is that you have to be open-minded. You have to be able to embrace what's going on with you physically, and then take that information and go, okay, now what can I do to make it better? What can I do? Don't rely on the doctors, please. Don't rely on. I have to say it, and it can be controversial. I don't care, because you know why? Because I am healthy because I decided to become healthy and I looked outside the box and I went away from the doctor. Hey JC, did you get a hold of Miami Mike? Because he couldn't get the link. Can you resend it to him just in case? So we're gonna have JC come on a little bit, talk about so he can come in and he can testify to the changes in our life, in our health, and how, all the little changes that we make a big difference. Just changing like your morning habits and your like your breakfast. That's a big habit. If you change your breakfast, and for example, I used to have cereal in the morning. I used to constantly have cereal and didn't realize how bad Cheerios are. I don't know if anybody has ever investigated Cheerios, but Cheerios are the worst thing for you. They're like, oh, it lowers your cholesterol and all this other stuff, but it's a healthy breakfast. No, it's not. It's all garbage. It's all processed food and it's really garbage. And then also I found out that there's high amounts of glutamate in a lot of products that we consume, and one of those is Cheerios. So if you give your children Cheerios, please stop that. Find an alternative. Give them some fruit in the morning. Give them some eggs. Don't give them any processed stuff out of a box, please. Remember, what you give to your child is how they're going to develop in their life. So if we give them crap, they're going to come out. Their health is going to be horrible. So, all righty, let's see. JC came on to say hi, and we're gonna test our connection here. So let's see how JC's doing today. Hey,
Can you hear
how
me?
are you? Yes. Did you resolve my other issue?
Well, yes, I just send them the link again. So, sometimes people have trouble getting in. So,
Yeah. Yeah, he was just wasn't getting my link. So
but
today,
anyway, yeah, I just want to point something out that this is real. This is not stage. What we're about to do today with Mike, this is something very impressive that me and Alito were really impressed. We know Mike for quite a while right now, so it's just another side about when you're being healthy. You know what? When you're being healthy, you're more how you call it when you're healthy, you think different, you act different, you feel different. So everything just changes. Everything spiritually, body wise, everything
right.
when you're doing the right thing. So, I suggest people that are gonna tune in today, pay very close attention because this could be one of us one day, and this has a lot of this could serve you as a lot of information.
Thanks, JC. Well, I'm gonna
All right.
get Miami Mike on here. He got connected, and
All right.
the signals went through on the phone.
I just
Stupid
want to say hi to
technology.
Mike, and then I'm out. Then I'll be
Okay, you
watching.
can say hi and then you're out. All right, so we're gonna add Miami now. Hey, Mike.
Hey,
Hey, how you
Mike.
guys doing? You guys hear me?
Yeah, I can
Yes.
hear you good.
Okay, want to make sure.
Yeah, yeah,
Well,
everything's
anyway,
good.
I just wanted to say hi to Mike and everybody that's out there on my pages that are listening. Check this story out because remember, it could be one of us one day. And if we don't have the right information and we go to the wrong places to get taken care of, it could be fatal. So just pay attention. And this is a serious story. Okay. So I'll take you guys out later. I'll be online listening and
Bye. Bye, JC.
let's start.
Take it easy, bro.
So Mike, so yeah, so we had a conversation the other day, and I had to get you on the show because the best way to get people to really listen is to give testimonial, right? To really like tell people, hey, I was like this, and now I'm here. And I think that's the only way we can help people out there so they can see a little of the magic that happens when you decide to get healthy. So
Right,
I
right.
guess just tell us how you started out with your journey, basically.
Well, basically, you go up through life thinking that you're healthy, and you you pretty much go to the doctor when you need to get a checkup, and you would hope that the doctors give you the information that you want to hear, but when you get that information that you don't want to hear, it's like, wait a minute, it's happening to me. You know, everybody feels like, nah, this won't happen to me. You see things going on the internet and friends and family, and you're like, no, that won't happen to me because you think you're healthy. Well, I thought I was healthy, and I was far from healthy. So basically, I started feeling some symptoms, and I know my body, and it was just wasn't right. So I decided to go and get checked out, and the results came back, and they were scary. You know, more so scary because I didn't understand the medical terminology. You don't. They speak in a way that everything sounds freaking crazy.
Yeah. You're like, how do you spell that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you like talk to me in layman's terms. I'm not a doctor,
Yeah.
so explain to me in English. So basically when they break it down, they say you have this and that, and these are the treatments, and if you don't take care of yourself, this is where you can end up. And I'm like, oh no, no, I'm still young. I want to see my grandkids. I have a whole life ahead of me still. And I'm like, what are the options? What are the treatments and
Right,
whatnot?
right, right.
And the first thing that you're gonna throw at you is medicine. You know,
Yeah.
doctors. There are some doctors out there who go the holistic route, the more natural remedy
Right.
route, and there are those who push big pharma. And of course, they were like, "Well, we could prescribe you this, and this, and these are the side effects, and if you feel these side effects, we'll have to prescribe you this." So basically, you're taking in just you're a medicine cabinet, and you're taking pills to treat something for something that's supposed to be treating something good, but yet it's causing more harm. And it's like, well, does it make sense to take any of this stuff? So I started doing my research, and I'll get into what I was diagnosed with and whatnot. And again, I'm not one to put my
Yeah.
business out there
No, I
because I
know.
don't. I looked at the flyer and I'm like, disease, and I'm like, oh my god, that sounds horrible.
No, no, it's not like it's horrible. It's not.
I
He's
know.
not. He's not on deathbed. But it's just a
No,
point
yeah.
of. It's a point of you. We all have kind of disease in our body, right? I had the stroke.
Everybody,
So I
everybody
had
has a
I had
disease
the
in their
stroke
body.
7 years ago because
Mhm.
I had high blood pressure. I was drinking alcohol, eating whatever steak and fried food and all this other stuff, and then I was diabetic on top of it. So
Yeah,
that you think you get the false sense talking about medicine. So the doctor will say, "Here, take this medicine, and then just go around your life." No, you can't. They give you medicine, and then you're like, "Oh, I'll just keep eating what I'm eating." No, it doesn't work that way.
yeah,
And
no,
you
no.
have to change your lifestyle.
You absolutely have to change how you eat, how you first of all is discipline because you know Latinos grow up pretty much eating when your parents cook, they put so much food on your plate and they cooked with flavor. You know what I'm saying? There's like the flavor has to be there. And you'll have, rice, pork chops, and
Right.
all the fried stuff, and it's like, man, it tastes so good. But it's gotta be bad for you, man. It really has to be. And again, you can eat that stuff, but don't take advantage. Anything you take advantage of, it's bad for you. You drink too much soda. I don't drink soda. I stay away from it. But you
Yeah.
drink too much soda, it does harm. You take too much Advil, it's no good for you. You know what I'm saying? You take too much of drink too much water. People don't understand. There's a lot of people who drink a shit. Excuse my language. A
Yeah.
lot of
Yeah.
water, and it's too much water for the body. You know what I'm saying? So you need to really pay attention and only drink water when your body needs it. Don't drink it just because. Some people just they're so used to drinking water, it's like an addiction. And when you do things more than usual, it becomes an addiction and you don't even
Mm,
know it.
yeah.
So and eating is an addiction.
Oh,
A lot of people don't understand
yes.
that.
Yeah.
Eating is an addiction, and you need to be able to control that. So let's go back into the whole diagnosis thing. So I was diagnosed, and I was like, "What are my options?" And they wanted to give me all these medications, and I was like, "Okay, all right, fine." Me not knowing anything, gullible. Of course, I'm trusting the doctors or whatever, whatever
Right.
you know. So I go, and when I go home, I go online. And again, you can't take everything you read online as it's like, God's word. You have to do your research. and not everything that's put online is correct. So when you do your research, you really have to dig and forget, don't just rely on the Googles and stuff like that. Go to a library and go into some encyclopedias and do your research on the old books that are there, because there's a lot of doctors from back then who had the answers, and they're doing away with a lot of those books because big pharmaceutical companies don't want you knowing about these remedies and these medicines that can cure you, because it's a business. It's a
Yeah.
business. There's no cure centers anywhere. They're treatment centers. Everywhere you go is a treatment center, a
Yeah.
wellness center. It's like,
But they
yeah,
don't heal you. They never
they
heal you.
that's not the plan. They want to
No.
string you along. And for example, those who take chemo, look how expensive that is.
Oh,
Some insurance companies drop you because of the price of that. They'll drop you
yeah.
because they don't
Yeah.
want to pay it because it's so expensive, and it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So, they string you along, and when it comes down to it, there are a bunch of natural remedies that you can take. And again, do your research, guys. There are some things I'm going to throw out there. And again, anything that I put out there, you don't have to take my word for it. I'm just talking about things that I've used that worked for me. And people who know me, who've seen the changes in my life, in my health, have asked me, "Hey, what are you doing?" And I've
Yeah.
recommended these. I've recommended these remedies, and it's helped them. And then they become a believer, because your first people who are to be skeptical are your friends. They're like, "Oh, really? Like,
Yeah.
since when did you become this expert in holistic medicine?" And I said, when it hit me at home.
Yeah.
When it hit home is when I said, "Holy, I gotta, this is happening to me. I need to take charge and see what I can do, because I
Right.
don't need my insurance dropping me. I don't have all the money in the world to be paying for medicine and all that stuff, you know. And again, I want to live to see my grandkids if I have any.
Yeah.
I still have a life ahead of me, you know.
Yeah.
So I did my research and found out about certain things in your body. Growing up, you put your body through so much abuse. All the years of abuse, whether it's eating, whether it's drugs, drinking, whatever it is, the years of
Yeah.
abuse that you put your body through,
Not
when you
sleeping. Not.
not sleeping. Listen, I work nights, so my
So
my
you know.
circadian clock is destroyed, so my that even brings on, more ailments
Yeah.
that can affect my body.
Yeah. It
But
does.
I got that under control. You know what I'm
That's
saying? I
good.
have that under control because I've learned how to adapt to it. And when you learn how to adapt, then you can control it. You know, if you can stop a moving train, if you could slow down a moving train, you can stop it. And it takes a while for a train to stop because there's so much behind it, so much, weight behind it, but eventually it will stop. And that's the same thing with these ailments in your body. If you start to cleanse your body and start ridding your body of the toxins and all that, you will
Hmm.
start to you feel the change first. And this is what stops a lot of people from dieting and changing their health habits. You start to feel a little bit better, but you don't see the results right away. And people like to see physical results right away, and that doesn't
Yeah.
happen right away. You have to
Yeah.
start feeling better to you feel like, damn, I feel the difference inside of me. I know it's working, but you got to give it its time, and you got to stay consistent doing it, because
Yeah.
if you don't, just like the gym, you start going to the gym, you start feeling better, oh yeah, brag about it. Yeah, I'm going to the gym. Yeah, I go and I do
Right. Yeah.
cardio and all that stuff. But after a few weeks, if you don't see a difference, because you see yourself every day, so it's hard
Right.
for you to see that difference. It's
Right.
not like somebody who hasn't seen you for 2 or 3 weeks or a month, and they're like, "Oh, damn, bro, you're looking thinner." You know, they
It's
get
true. You
discouraged.
start that New Year's resolution, right? You always go, I'm
The
gonna
first,
do it. I'm gonna go
listen, the
six
first
weeks,
the
seven
first two
weeks.
weeks, the first 2 weeks, New Year's, it's packed.
Yeah,
After
it's
that, I
packed.
think it's a ghost
It's
town. It's a ghost town.
it's
So,
true.
and listen. I won't preach about going to the gym and doing all these exercises and all that, but Start by taking, not every, it's not, a gym's not for everybody. Exercise is not for everybody. You have to build yourself to that, you know? So, but you start off with cleaning your body, getting rid of the toxins in your body.
Yeah.
You know, that the food isn't made the way it used to be years ago. You know, growing up, the food was different, the sugars were different. We have so much fake food now in this
Oh,
world that it brings on all these ailments. It's But that's
the
the
other thing
business.
that's really bad, it's a business. And the other thing now, because I have a lot of friends that are vegan, and I did that for a while. So they have the Impossible Burger and all this fake meat.
Oh
It
my
is the
goodness.
worst. I did the research. It is the worst possible thing to eat. You're better off, I'm sorry, have a steak than
Yeah,
eat the
yeah, yeah.
soy, because the Impossible Burger is made by soy. And then I read the ingredients, like isolated something soy and all that. And soy is highly
It's
GMO'd on top
it's
of it.
horrible. It's horrible.
So it's really bad for
Soy
you. And
milk, yeah.
soy used to be good. If you grow your own soybeans, it's a whole different story. But if you're getting GMO stuff and
It's
you're
the
drinking soy
process.
milk, it's all processed. It's
It's the
horrible.
process as they put everything through the milk, your orange juice. Everything right now has bioengineered, it's
Yes,
bioengineered. Fruits nowadays, they are seedless. They're like, "Oh, I like seedless grapes." Anything that
no,
doesn't have a seed is fake. Watermelons now,
exactly.
they come seedless. If you see them, they don't look like watermelons anymore. They
No,
don't taste like watermelons anymore. The texture of the fruits, the texture of the meats are being
yes,
made fake, artificial meat, the chicken,
yeah. The 3D
all
meat
this
now.
stuff. Yeah, it's all being made 3D printed, and it's crazy that we put that in our body. We put that in our body. And but then again, humans are gullible to still eat it, because when you look at smokers, I'm not against smokers, but if you read the back of the Surgeon General's, it says known to cause cancer and can be harmful, whatever, to your lungs and whatnot. It tells you what it can do to you, but you
Right.
still do it anyway. Drinking, the harmful effects of drinking, but you still do it anyway. So people are going to eat the fake meat. People are going to eat the fake sugars. People are going to eat all these bioengineered stuff, because you know what? They're just going to do it. They're like, you know what? It can't happen to me. I'm okay. I'm built differently, until it catches up to you, until that
Yeah.
thing catches up to you. And like, again, all the years of damage you do to your body, you can't reverse it in a day or two. It
No.
takes time. It's a process. So, I'm still cleansing my body, and I've done a lot of cleansing, detoxing, but I'm still cleansing because, again, years. I'm in my 40s. So, years of eating crap and drinking and all that stuff that you do, it's not going to happen. The change is not going to happen overnight,
Right.
but you will see the results if you stay consistent. So,
Exactly. And it
getting back
takes time
into
like everything else. I talked to this woman the other day, and she's like, "Oh, are you taking that shot, that Ozempic or something to lose weight?" I said, "Are
Ozempic,
Yeah. I said, "Are you
that's
kidding me?" I said, "Do you
mhm.
understand what that gives you? That gives you cancer, and it gives you a whole bunch of other stuff and the side effects." And she's like, "Oh, my friends are skinny." I said, "Yeah, check them out in 5 years from now, okay?
No,
Because they're not going to be okay."
yeah, because the long-term effects later on will catch up to you. And that's for what, diabetes, right? That's from my understanding. It's
No, well,
they
it's supposed to be for diabetes, but now people are prescribing it to lose weight.
to lose
That's the
weight.
the
They
the
did that with
overweight
Fin.
drug.
They did that with a bunch of other
You
stuff,
remember
and
what fen? I remember that.
and
That
and
was
and look what
bad.
happened with that. So, again, they're using this, and they're look at Viagra, what it was used for originally, and then they use it for erectile dysfunction after. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? It's like, so they taking these drugs and they double marketing them for it's a business. It's a
It is
business.
a whole business, a whole business.
And again, you have to start watching what you eat, and and cleansing your body. There's certain things that
Yeah.
I do. There's certain again, this is the research I've done, and I'm no doctor. I'm no medical professional. I'm not here to say that you have to take my word, and it's the word that was put on in stone, written in stone. But this is
Mm,
stuff that's worked for me, and this is stuff that I've researched from professional, holistic doctors, people, and there's testimonials of people who have done these things. And then, again, I don't just jump at the first thing I read in Google or anything like that, because it's not the greatest place to do research. It's full of garbage. There are other search engines and websites that you can go to. Unfortunately, a lot of those websites get taken down because I don't see the comments or anything from anybody. So I don't know if
Oh,
anybody's saying
okay. Yeah, now
anything.
I'm just looking through. Somebody was asking about where is it safe to buy, like to buy food. And
It's it's a lot of people say go organic and all that stuff, but you got to think about this. There's really no place to really buy safe food nowadays, because the farms right now, they're getting bought out by, you know, all
oh
these
my
major
gosh.
corporate. I don't want to mention any names because I don't want your to show to get banned or get.
It's
But
okay.
there are
They're
certain
coming from other
individuals.
countries. Let me just say that. I
Not
know,
only
I
that,
know for a
but
fact.
even within his own country, there's a certain corporation that,
Yes.
well, there's a few, but again, I don't want to mention them. But those who decide to
Right.
do the research, check it out. One starts with an M, and
Right.
another one has a person's name that starts with a B, and then
Right.
his last name's with a G. But
Right.
so they're buying up all the farmland so they can make these synthetic products, and they're injecting vaccines into these things. So it's like
Yes.
you're forced to take these vaccines. Who the hell made these people medical professionals, and gave them the right to tell you how to eat, what to eat, when to stay home, wear a mask. That whole thing with the mask and all that, that thing
Yeah. It
done
was
more harm than it did good.
it did. It did.
Breathing in your own pathogens, breathing in your own, mold from you take it off. People had a habit of leaving it in their car so they don't forget it. And then
Right.
in Florida, the heat in your car is like
Oh.
an oven. So you're doing is cooking up spores on your own mask. You take it and you put it on and you inhale the spores. You know what? I'd rather drink toilet water. You know what I'm saying?
No, it
Then
was
then
it
do
was
that.
insane. It was insane. And the thing is, if you see people now, I just laugh because we went through a period of time that everybody was like, "Don't touch me, don't even look at me," right? We were like this, and now everybody's like, "Oh, let me share your cup. Oh, let me share."
Everybody's back
Like
to, yeah.
back to
It's
normal. Nobody cares anymore.
Man,
People have gotten
listen.
sick. They try to make it back again.
So much
But
has
the
come out about that, about the whole,
oh
the
yes,
COVID, the pandemic, all these things, and people are still stuck in their mindset of, oh no, you need to wear a mask. There's people to this day who wear masks. There's people
yes,
who you see driving with gloves, mask, a face shield in their own car with the
yeah,
windows up, and they're like this, and I'm like,
yeah.
unbelievable,
No,
unbelievable. But then again, you can't. Some people are just like that. They're not
yeah,
built with common sense.
right.
They're stuck and they're just, they believe the first thing they read and they're like, oh yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Look at this whole thing with this eclipse coming up, April 8th. Look at what they're
Yes.
telling for an eclipse. They're telling you to make sure you have a full tank of gas.
I don't
If you haven't read
understand
this,
why.
yeah, if you haven't
No.
read this, they're telling you you need to make sure you have a full tank of gas. Make sure you stock up on groceries and food and have enough water. Make sure you have batteries for flashlights and stuff like that, just in case. This is a freaking eclipse that's
Why?
gonna pass by. I don't know.
It's not even a hurricane.
It's an eclipse that who knows what this really is, and they're calling it an eclipse. Maybe it's a test.
Who knows? I know.
They're doing a test, or it's going to be another reason to try to keep us in, to put us in a panic and scare us and keep us locked in at home.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, that's
so
what people are
they
saying here. The government is
it's
trying to still control our
listen,
lives, and the
it's
and I will talk about it. I don't care. The
yeah.
thing is, it's a lot of control right now. I was reading something about the whole TikTok thing. I think it's absolutely insane that people are literally freaking out because TikTok might be banned. We have social media, so many platforms. What is so special about one? And if it's and the thing is, they're trying to do it because China owns it and all this other stuff. There's more than that there's more than that what they're saying. There's more than that. It's
Oh,
just trying to see
absolutely,
how much
absolutely.
control can they take. Can they disconnect us from TikTok, and or that way they can disconnect us? They try to do it from Facebook and Twitter and all the other stuff. And little by little, they're trying to take little pieces from us, so eventually we have no control of anything.
Oh, absolutely. Look, the government wants control over you, and they have it. They have it because they proved it already with the whole pandemic.
Yeah.
And those who are saying, "Oh, next pandemic comes, I'm not masking up and I'm doing anything," you know what? They'll make you do it. They'll make you do it. You know, we. It's funny because I was talking to a friend and I said it's funny how we vote in a president that we choose. It's like choosing your parents, and then your parents tell you what you choose your parents, and your parents tell you what to do, and now you have no say so. But you chose your parents. Like we choose the president of the United States, or at least we try to with the whole,
Right.
these
Right.
things are so rigged. It is what it is. But we choose our government, and yet our government controls us and tells us what we can and cannot do. And then we sit back like, duh. Well, we have the power to actually overthrow that. But then they come out and say, well, if you do that, you are a domestic terrorist, or they start throwing all these names and conspiracy theorists and all that stuff, and they try to like shun you down, and then people will believe that. Other people start look. They turned families against each other during the
Oh yeah.
during the politics, during the presidential race, when Hillary and Donald Trump were running. Um, and I don't want to go off the subject with the health stuff, but this
Right.
this all plays a big part because politics plays a big role in what you eat because they're
Yeah.
controlling on what you're
Yeah.
eating. They're controlling on medicines that they're forcing into your body, vaccines and all this stuff. So and all that stuff has done so much harm to people that there 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 are places that are asking before you apply if you've taken the vaccine, and if you have, you need to call this number because they want to make sure that there are certain things that they're not going to be liable. Like, for example, a company doesn't want you working for them if you're going to get sick, if you're not going to be dependable. You know what I'm
Uh,
saying? If you're going to be calling to work late or sick
uh,
all the time, because they don't want that. You don't do nothing. You do them no good. You do them no good. So now a lot of these companies are checking your health to see if you're going to be calling in sick, and if you're liable to that
that's like a
because you're a
discrimination.
liability. It's
That's
it,
like
it is it is, but you know what? It's
because you
happening.
got disabled people, so now what you know what I mean, they deserve to still have a life. And one thing I always say too, which bugs me, you know how when you see the commercials with the children on the TV that they're sick, they're born with these diseases and
Hmm.
cancer and all this stuff. I never see a commercial that says, why are all these children sick? Do you know that
They're not going to
nobody
tell you
ever
why.
asked that question? Nobody asked
They
that
won't tell you
question.
why.
They
They
just
won't tell
they
you
just
why.
say, oh, they're sick, they're born with this. Yeah, but there's a reason. There's a reason. There's chemicals in your body. There's who knows what the mother was going through. I mean, there's so many different things that,
Hmm.
and people never question. They just go, oh, they just get it. What? No.
Look, at the end of the day, when it comes down to a lot of these sicknesses, these ailments that you have in your body, um, even down to the simple headache, it has to do with parasites and worms
Mm,
in your body. And these parasites, and everybody has them. Everybody. I don't want to hear you say, oh, I don't have worms in my body. I don't have.
yeah.
You're the first one to have it. If you have a gut, you definitely have it. If you're skinny, you have it. I don't care who you are. If you eating meat, fish, any type of seafood, chicken, if you have pets, if you listen, if you've eaten at a restaurant, at a restaurant anywhere, you have parasites and worms in your body.
Yep.
And you need to get rid of them. You can't get rid of all of them, but you have to get it under control. You have to get it under control because what happens is these parasites and worms, they're living inside of you. They need to eat. So, a lot of people are like, oh, I take my vitamins, my A through Z, whatever, Centrum and all this crap,
Right.
whatever, whatever. They take that in and your body doesn't even absorb it. First of all, the pill itself is it's 90% adhesive that's holding, all that stuff together. So you take that in, and what happens is the first things to absorb that are the parasites and the worms before you do. They're the ones getting all the nutrients and getting all the goodness from your supposedly healthy food before your body does. What you end up getting is what they secrete. They have to piss and they have to poop. And that's what you're absorbing.
Ugh, not a pleasant
It's
thought.
not. And that's why people feel, groggy and they feel a certain type of way. And what does that turn into? Mucus. Mucus builds up in your body. If you have a huge amount of mucus in your body, you're prone to cancers. You're prone to autoimmunes. You're prone to diabetes. You're prone to all these sicknesses that are out there that you see people suffering from.
Mhm.
You have to rid the mucus from your body, and people don't understand that. People who suffer from the acne and all that stuff, they're like, oh, my skin is oily. No, that's your
No.
body. That's the mucus and all that coming out of your body. It's
Yeah.
forcing all the toxins coming out of your body. They have to escape. So if you have a bad digestive system and it's not coming out your butt because you don't poop it out
Right.
or you don't piss it out because your liver's already put through so much strain, it's got to find a way out. And your body knows, it has its natural defenses on how to get rid of stuff. And when you're sick, your body knows how to get rid of something. If you eat something that you shouldn't have eaten, your body, what does it do? It throws it
Spews
up.
it
It
out.
forces it
Yeah.
out, right?
Right.
If it made it in your body and it still needs to be taken out, what happens? It comes out in the form of diarrhea.
Yeah.
Your
Yep.
body breaks it down, it attacks it, comes out in the form of diarrhea. What else? When you're under the weather, what does your body how does your body try to get rid of stuff? You sweat it out. You sweat out a cold. When
Right.
you
You get a
when you
fever.
breathe in something
Right.
that you weren't supposed to breathe in, whatever, your body, what does it do? It forces it out by sneezing or
Right.
coughing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Your body knows if it or tearing. You tear it out.
Right.
Your body knows how to get rid of the stuff. But when
Right.
there's so much of it, it loses the battle. It's not a fair fight, because there's just so much toxins in your body that it's just not a
Right.
fair fight for your body.
Yeah. Then you're
Your white
completely
blood
toxic.
cells, yeah, your white blood cells are they're always in fight mode,
Mm.
So anything that comes in, they get so used to being in fight mode, anything that comes into your body, whether it's good or bad, it tries to attack it because it's already on guard, you know?
Yeah. And then with the
So,
medications, and if you're on top of that, you're unhealthy, and then you take medications on top of it, it's like a band-aid, basically. It's a band-aid. So now who knows what you're gonna get from that? So now you feel worse.
yeah,
Like
you're
for
not treating it.
example,
You're just
no,
covering it. You're
I was,
masking this the problem.
yeah, yeah. And let me tell
And
you, I
what's
did a
underneath
research.
that is still there
Yeah,
and still getting worse.
yeah,
You haven't gotten to the root cause and get rid of it. Like weeds and grass, you got to get rid of those weeds. If not, they're going to continue to keep growing. You got to get it from the root and get it out.
yeah. Yeah.
You
And you
know?
have to know your body. I tell people, how do they not know your body? Like when I was, for example, I was on a medication for the diabetes and it was like a shot a week. And
Mm-hmm.
I took it and I started, I didn't feel good. My pancreas was bothering me. And because of course that's where your insulin is produced,
Yeah, it's
plus
putting a
your
strain on
liver.
it. It's putting a
So it was
super
putting such
strain.
a
Yeah.
strain on my pancreas. My stomach swelled up, my pancreas swelled up. I started vomiting. I was like, what's going on? And I said, you know what? It's the medication. So I stopped it, perfectly fine now, you know, because it was
Mm-hmm.
affecting me. And then I looked up because I said, how come so many people have pancreatic cancer? So I looked up a research in Europe that said that the increase of pancreatic cancer for a person who takes insulin is 240% increase because the insulin is causing your pancreas to overwork or do whatever it has to do, and it's causing you to get cancer. So
Mm-hmm.
they're fixing your diabetes, trying to keep control of diabetes. You're gonna get pancreatic cancer on top of it.
Yeah. What
I mean,
what you're gonna notice is, well, for those who decide to start cleansing their bodies, and again, I'm gonna name some things that I use more towards the at the closing of the show.
mhm,
And again, I'm not a medical professional. This is all based off research I've done and doing my deep research because again, it was for my health, and I'm still
that's right.
doing it. And has it helped me tremendously? And I was diagnosed with malignant disease. So I guess with the flyer saying disease on it, it's okay. um, and that's a form of cancer. and I caught it early enough so that I can, again, whether you catch it early or it's in its late stages, just that word itself, it's scary as shit,
Yeah.
because it's like,
Yeah.
what comes with that in most cases.
Right.
So I was like, and again, I don't talk about my business to nobody. I don't put my business out there. It's nobody's business, but I'm going to share this because, again, you might not have that diagnosis. You might have something else, but it all stems from, mucus. It all comes down to mucus in your body, the amount of mucus that's in your body. And when you have that mucus in your body, that mucus, what it does, it attaches to your red blood cells, and it suffocates your red blood cells. It coats it. So if you have, it's like having it's like putting something in a Ziploc, and now you're keeping it from getting the oxygen it needs and the nutrients and everything. It suffocates and it dies. And mucus, if you ever had phlegm and you cough up phlegm,
Mm.
it's very sticky, like gluey.
Yeah.
And what
Yeah.
it's, you spit and, got a god hole. People,
I know.
so it's sticky. So what happens with all those red blood cells that are coated with mucus, they get stuck together and they build a mass. And
Mm.
when they build that mass, that grows. And with that, and then, that spreads. And that's the form of cancer that spreads through your body and starts to take over. And your white blood cells see that and they try to attack it, and they're just on high mode. They're like, so your white blood cell count is through the roof. You can't being that they're already through the roof, you can't afford to get a sick, get a cold, or get sick, or get anything or any infection, because now you're taking it beyond its limits.
Right.
Your body's going to shut down. That's how the what is it called? Autoimmunes are caused by that.
Right. I was gonna say.
Your beta cells, the beta cells, what people don't, if you have diabetes, do your research on beta cells. Beta cells are the cells in your pancreas that create insulin. And if they're coated with mucus and they're dying off, they can't create the insulin it needs to create for your body to your body is made to heal itself. Your body is made to rejuvenate, and heal from within, but you have to put the right things into it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So when you start healing your beta cells, you start to fix your insulin levels, and you can cure yourself. You can cure yourself. Women, when they're pregnant, they become diabetic during their pregnancy.
Yeah, I had that both times. Yeah.
So what I do, I fast. I do fastings, and again, I go aggressive. I do 18 hours no eating, and then within the 6 hours, I eat, and I eat certain foods, and then I'll do that for 2 days, and then the third day I'll go very aggressive and do 24 hours fasting, meaning I don't eat anything. I'll drink fluids,
Right.
and then again I'll do 18-6, and then on the weekends I'll just kind of like mellow out, chill out. I'll break it down to like 14 hours without eating, and then
Right.
the rest
Right.
I'll eat carefully.
Right.
So by fasting, you allow your body to rebuild itself.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Stay away from sugars. Stay away from sugars, guys.
Sugar. I did a whole program about how deadly sugar is.
I know
Sugar
a lot
is
of people like to drink coffee, and they like to listen. I used to be a big iced coffee fanatic. I still am an iced coffee fanatic, but I do not take sugar. I take what's called monk fruit.
Yeah, right.
I take the monk fruit,
Mm-hmm.
and you can find the monk fruit in like Whole Foods and stuff like that, or you can Google it and buy it on Amazon. It's called a monk fruit, and I take that. I use that in my iced coffee. It's gotten to the point that I don't really put too much in it, because my body already doesn't have that craving for the sugar.
Right.
Because the fact that I'm getting rid of all the parasites and the worms and all those toxins out of my body, those parasites aren't craving the sugar. They're the ones who send out the signal, hey, I'm hungry. People always picking and always picking. It's not you. it's the parasites. They're hungry, so they
Ooh.
they release an enzyme, goes to your brain, says, "Hey, we're hungry." They're and they need to eat. So they're the ones craving the food. They're the ones you need to starve them bastards. You need to flush them
Yeah.
out your body. And so by staying away from sugar, you're gonna reduce the cravings. You're gonna start um feeling a difference in just your whole mood. Your For the first 2 or 3 days, you're gonna feel a little like lightheaded because
Yeah.
again, your body's so used to having this fake energy to keep it going. But you
Right.
have energy in the form of fat that your body already knows it's gonna start taking it. But first thing is your body's craving is the sugar. So it's like a mind game. You're gonna feel like, oh man, I hadn't had sugar in 2 days. I got a headache. I feel like this. Yeah, of course. It's like somebody who's been on drugs and they go cold
They
turkey.
cold turkey. Yep.
You're gonna
Exactly.
feel the effects. Sugar's,
Yeah.
I think 100 times worse than cocaine. They said to your brain, how it stimulates your brain.
Wow.
So it's very addictive. Sugar's more addictive than cocaine.
Benny
Everybody's on it.
Benny B's trying to be cute. He's like, I killed my parasite with lots of alcohol. Very
Oh, wait,
funny,
wait, wait,
Benny.
wait, 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 wait. No. But he has a point because parasites do
Why?
not like because they don't like alcohol. They showed a study with the parasites in a glass of
Really?
water, and they showed it in a glass of alcohol, and then the alcohol they just went like in the
Ah,
water. They were still moving around and everything, but with I'm not saying to become an alcoholic. I'm not saying
I
that, what I'm saying, but a glass of wine ain't gonna hurt you. You know what I'm saying? A beer here and there isn't gonna hurt you. Just
exactly.
do it right. Be
Everything else,
responsible. Be responsible. Don't get me wrong.
moderation,
I
moderation.
still I still drink. I still have a beer here. I still go and I'll have a McCullen's. Nothing wrong with that. You're not abusing it. But if you
Right.
want to get rid of those worms and
Sugar-free
parasites,
alcohol.
nah, it's sugar free, right?
Benny's like sugar-free alcohol.
Listen,
Ah.
if you wanna get rid of those toxins and get rid of those parasites out of your body, look up fenbendazole or albendazole. Albendazole or fenbendazole. Remember those: albendazole, fenbendazole. Even there's another one called benbendazole, depending on the generic term. Fenbendazole, you're probably going to see it more for animals,
Mhm.
like you'll see it in the veterinarian stuff like that for dogs
It
and
says
like to get.
approved for treating a variety of parasitic worm infections.
All right, so you're going to see it
Yeah.
fenbendazole for the animals, but it's the same thing, guys, for the human consumption. It's the same thing. It's just marketed differently for the dogs. It costs cheaper for the dogs than it does for the humans. You know, because again, it's a business.
Exactly.
Albendazole. I take albendazole, and let me tell you something. Anybody who's seen ramen noodles, and ramen noodles
Ooh.
are really bad for you. Do not eat ramen noodles. That's the most synthetic
Yeah, fake food.
food. Yeah, it's
Ugh.
like the rice they come out with now. That Chinese rice that's plastic.
Mm.
Um, so albendazole, you take that. All right, I take it, and then 2 weeks, and then I take a break, and then after that, I come back like a cycle. You do it in cycles. So if you want more information on it, DM me. I'll be happy to give you all the stuff that I take. Again, guys, I'm not a medical professional. I'm telling you, this is stuff that's helped me. And when I
Right.
went to the doctor, when I did all the stuff, and I haven't said the other things that I take yet. But when I went to the doctor, and the doctor was like, "Oh, it looks like the medication's working," and I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "We're going to lower your dosage." Meanwhile, I haven't taken jack
Yeah.
crap from anything they
Yeah.
given me, because when I got home, the first thing I did when I got home, when they gave me that prescription, was see what the hell they were giving me. Because one of them was like, "Oh, if you take this, side effects, you bleeding of the ass." And I'm like, "Okay, now I'm gonna be bleeding in my ass, freaking walking down the street, like if I have my period, and I'm taking." But that's to treat this thing. But now they're gonna give me another medication to stop the bleeding from my ass, and then they're gonna give me another medication. That medication from the bleeding of the ass started high blood pressure. Now I gotta take.
Right.
You notice all those
Like, really?
commercials. This is side effects consist of
Oh, yeah.
death out of 9 out of 10 people. You know, if you're a candidate, speak to your doctor and see if whatever is right for you. It's like, are
I
you
know,
serious? You know,
exactly.
like,
I hear that.
man,
All
you
I
know, I
hear is the
rather
side effects. I'm like, really? Like,
yeah.
I really want to take the medicine now. It's ridiculous. So, lady here, she goes, she said when her papa would give her a sip of beer when a little girl to kill the worms.
Yeah, it helps, but it's not enough. It's not, unfortunately, it's not enough. So you got to flush your
Mm,
body. Take the albendazole, and you will see that come out of your body like if you just crapped a bowl of ramen noodles.
right. Oh,
But
I don't know if I can
that's not
handle
the end.
that.
That you
Whew.
listen. You don't look
It's
in.
better
Just
than
look.
out than
Take a
in.
quick.
I know.
Listen. It's healthy to look at how your stool looks because
Oh,
that determines your
yes.
health.
Yes,
People
it
don't realize,
does.
but when you
Yes.
look at your stool, that determines because you're going to notice. Wait a minute, that doesn't look right. There's blood in there, or
Right.
there's this and that. You know what I'm saying? So you
Yep.
need to pay attention to what comes out your body. You know, you're taking in stuff. You see what you're taking in. See how it's coming out. You know. So
Yeah.
albendazole, if you take that, it's going to come out looking like ramen noodles, and it's going to cleanse you. But you're going to feel the difference. You're going to start to feel the difference, and you're going to start to lose weight, guys. You're gonna. I
Hmm.
went up to 268. I was never
Wow.
268 pounds in my life. I went up to 268 pounds, and I was so depressed and just like, oh my god, this is. I couldn't breathe when I slept. I just everything just my body was just out of whack. You know. I'm down to 232.
It's
I'm
great.
pushing myself down to get to 220 to stay at that 220 range. I'm 6 foot tall, so I don't want to get too thin because then my face will start to go like, you know, and
Yeah.
I'm trying to keep my face from getting sucked in because a lot of people when they lose weight drastically, and I haven't lost weight drastically, I've been doing this gradual throughout the year. So um a lot of people who do it drastically, their face gets sucked in and you can see they don't look healthy. So you have to do it the healthy way. You don't want to be
Wow.
malnourished. You want to make sure
Right.
you're still
Right.
taking in the stuff you need and whatnot, you know, the nutrients and whatnot. So
Right.
you
That's
start
good.
getting rid of these parasites and toxins out your body, you're going to see a major difference in your health, in your sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, the weight gives you depression. Yeah, and listen, I feel
Yeah. It
great
gives you
now.
depression.
I feel a lot better, man. I can feel it in my knees. I can feel it in just in my
Oh,
walk and my clothing. Like I had bought so much clothing when I was heavier that right now I put them on and it's like I'm down to between a 38 and a 36. I was like a 42, 44.
wow. It's
You know?
uncomfortable when you have that extra weight. You can't breathe right. Your stomach. My stomach used to be so big. I would lean my hand up here. I had
Yo,
a big belly. I
I
was
have
up to
seven herniated
220.
discs. I have seven
Okay.
herniated discs. So my stomach
Wow.
puts pressure on your lower back and it pulls it pulls it forward. And when women are pregnant, it and they have heavy, big breasts.
Right.
What does it do to your
Well.
back?
Oh yeah.
It puts a strain.
Oh
So
yeah.
if you got that gut, and I'm a big dude. I'm not a small guy. So 268 gut, that weight, man, that should it put a lot of strain on my back. So
Oh yeah. And
now
the
I don't have the
knees.
sciatic nerve. My sciatica issue it's pretty much gone. Any pains I had in my back are pretty much gone. I do a lot of the inversion table that you hang upside down
Mm,
and stretch your back. That
right.
helps. But
Right. Right. Right.
you got to get rid of a lot of that stuff. The metals in your body. You want to get rid of the metals in your body, guys. Metals is what causes a lot of the sicknesses in the kids. And the vaccines they get, there's mercury and there's metals in them, and that causes autism and a lot of and having autoimmune food is a big issue. Not inflammation.
Yeah.
I'm not getting inflammation anymore. Cheryl, hey, how you doing, Cheryl? Cheryl, if you want, hit me up. I'll tell you what to take, and you can start seeing if it works for you. Again, guys, I'm not a doctor. Don't
Right.
claim to be one. I'm doing the
Right.
stuff that's worked for me, and that people who have asked me have tried it, and it has helped them. And
Exactly.
look, at the end of the day, if I'm taking something that works for me, I'm going for it. I'm a firm believer.
Exactly.
And
Exactly. That's
it takes someone to see somebody they know, like close to them, to see that, oh damn, this shit really does work. I see Mike all the time, and I can see the changes. Or people who haven't seen me in a while,
Right.
and saw me about a year ago, and they see me now, they're like, damn. Those who pay attention.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
we
They're
did,
like,
right? We saw
damn,
you the other day.
well, when
Yeah.
you saw me, yeah, JC was like,
Yeah.
whoa. I was like, we'll talk. And we got into a
Uh-huh.
little discussion, and that's how this whole conversation came up about the show.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
it
you
did.
know, you got to get rid of the metals in your body. A lot of the stuff we eat, the food has metals. You got to get rid of it. You know, moringa, guys,
Yeah,
moringa,
moringa is so good.
moringa. If you
Every
have
day.
the ability to get the seeds and plant your own, if you have a little garden or a
I
little,
have
you know,
one.
little flower stuff and your plants and stuff, grow your own moringa and take
Yeah.
it. I take the pills because I'm not no freaking planter. I'm not growing no garden. You know what I'm saying? I live in a condo. I'm not gonna be putting my
Yeah.
balcony and making it. There's some balconies that have plants, and you see that thing looking like a
I
damn
have a little
jungle.
moringa.
Not
I have
about
a
that.
moringa tree
But
because
yeah,
the
you can build. You
neighbor,
can
the
do your own.
neighbor, yeah, the neighbor across the street has a tree. So I go and she allows me to take the leaves. So I take the leaves, I make a salad, microgreens. You just take them off, wash them, put
Or
them
you
on your
can make a
salad.
blend. You can blend it and make a
Put in the protein
a drink.
shake.
Yeah.
I put in the protein shake and then I dry it. I air dry it and then I make tea. So
Yeah,
every day I drink moringa tea with hibiscus, natural hibiscus, organic. And that's what I drink all day. That's what I have here. Moringa and hibiscus.
the moringa. Let me tell you, moringa works. You know, apple pectin. Apple pectin is great for breaking down a lot of that stuff. The mucus, apricot seeds.
I've been put on, what she say here? I've been put on high blood pressure meds. It helps me and it helps me with the weight loss. Yeah, but it's bad for you.
No. You
don't want that.
Oh, okay. So let's get back to the high blood pressure because I had that diagnosis too, along with, you know, a lot of the stuff becomes a domino effect. So I had the high blood pressure too. But let me get to the stuff because I know we're getting to the end of the show. The moringa, apple pectin, milk thistle, activated charcoal, guys. Activated charcoal. For those who don't know what activated charcoal is, that would help when you're doing the fastings and your body's going through those cravings and the parasites and you're doing the cleansing for the parasites and they're dying off. Your body's going to feel under the weather because naturally those things are dying. And some of it's going to come out in your stool, and some of it's going to get absorbed in your bloodstream. It's the natural way because they're in your intestines. You're going to feel under the weather, like you kind of like sneezy, runny nose, like a little because the toxins are going in your bloodstream, and your white blood cells are going to be fighting that. So it's going to be like it's going to be like a mini cold. The activated charcoal absorbs that and minimizes the effects of that, so that it comes out your body. And you have less symptoms of feeling crappy. When you get food poisoning or you get alcohol poisoning and they take you to the hospital, what do they give you? Charcoal to drink. They give you the charcoal. They make you drink charcoal. And when you drink that charcoal, because they ask you, when you drink something poisonous, do not induce vomiting because it'll repoison you on its way back up. So that's why they say you go to the doctor, they'll give you charcoal. The charcoal absorbs that. And then they induce vomiting because it's absorbed into charcoal and it comes back out and you don't repoison yourself.
Right.
So it's very important, guys. Pay attention. Activated charcoal. The milk thistle is, if you guys know what milk thistle is, great for your liver, good for your kidneys. Yeah. Especially if you're taking medicines from the doctors, it's putting a strain on your liver.
And just get the drops. You can get milk thistle liquid. You can order the liquid.
Put it under your tongue.
And just put it on the tongue, or you can put a little glass of water, just drink it.
Yeah.
So
you do the sublingual under your tongue.
Milk thistle is unbelievable. So my cat had liver disease. And all of a sudden she was jaundiced and she's real sick. And I took her to the vet, and they're like basically telling me she's not gonna make it. So they ended up putting a feeding tube in her because she kept vomiting, right? Do you think they gave me anything to cleanse her? She probably had parasites. I didn't do nothing. I came home. I started giving her milk thistle and giving her pureed food. I made food for her, and she healed completely within a month from the liver toxins that she had. So my doctor, the vet was like, "What did you do to the cat?" And I said, "I gave it milk thistle, and I did this, and I gave it moringa because I can take moringa too, and everything." Mm-hmm. He just looked at me like I was crazy. I said, "Is my cat healed?" Yes, and he couldn't answer me. He couldn't.
It was a new cat. It was a new cat.
Yeah.
And that's how
Yeah, you
you
couldn't
feel, like a
believe.
new person. You start to feel it
Yeah,
again. You start to feel the symptoms first. You start to feel better before you start to actually physically see the differences.
yeah,
Because you feel things before, So
yeah,
just like when you're hungry, you feel it before you start stuffing your mouth, and then you see it eventually because you ate yourself to the point that you're obese.
yeah.
So high blood pressure. Oh, let me get back to this. So the
Yeah,
milk thistle, the moringa, apple pectin. Um, take your probiotics. You want to have good bacteria in your stomach, guys. You still need the good bacteria because when you do the
yeah.
flushings out your body, you want to flush out the bad, but you want to keep the good. So you gotta take the probiotics so that they know what to do. That helps with your digestive tract. I don't have a gallbladder. They took my gallbladder out because of, again, poor
Me
health,
too.
eating crappy, and unfortunately, my intestines work 3 times as harder because they have to break down the food. So that's another thing. Those who suffer from not having a gallbladder, you already know the situation when you eat something that's greasy or doesn't sit right with you. You're like, oh,
Oh,
you're
I'm
looking for that.
so they removed my gallbladder in 2009, and it got messed up because I had eaten a salad at Pizza Rustica in South Beach, and I got giardia.
Ooh,
Okay, giardia is a parasite because somebody didn't wash their hands when they pooped, and they made my salad, and I ate it.
that's in
Okay,
their fingernails, and they're prepping your food. You
so
know.
for 6 weeks, I had chronic diarrhea. Went to the emergency room like 2 or 3 times, and they still didn't fix me. And I said I lost 25 pounds because I was just going to the bath. Nothing. I couldn't keep anything down. And then finally, when I got to the point that I was so bad, I just checked myself in the hospital. I said, I'm not leaving here until you figure this out. And that's when they find
Mhm.
out that I had giardia. But because of all the toxins and all the parasites, it messed up my gallbladder. So my stomach was like out to here. The gallbladder got infected, and it was just, they had to take it out, emergency.
Yeah, no, that's
But
crazy.
you need your gallbladder. The thing is that, oh, you don't need it. No, no,
No,
no.
you
God
definitely
made you with a gallbladder because you need a gallbladder. Okay.
everything in your body serves a purpose, just like your appendix. People are like, oh, you don't need your appendix. You do, but you can live without it. Just like you can live
Right.
without certain things in your body. You can live with one kidney, but does your body, you're putting your body through strain. Remember, everything else now has to compensate. It's like a coworker who didn't show up to work. Now everybody else got to pay the price, and now the workload is on you more. It's the same thing happening in your body. Everything else is taking on the load. So,
Yeah.
you want your body to be at balance. So for those who don't have it, you try to minimize and the strain on it. So yeah, the apple pectins, the apricot seeds, the milk thistle, moringa, activated charcoal, the probiotics. Or else I'm,
And
I'm
they
missing something. I'm
albendazole,
missing albendazole,
albendazole.
albendazole. Oh, and there's another thing called diatomaceous earth, food grade. Diatomaceous earth, food grade, brings back if you have arthritis and you have, joint pain. It brings back the collagen in your joints, makes your nails grow back healthy, your hair, your teeth. It helps with your teeth. There's just so many benefits from a lot of these natural remedies that it's from the earth. It's from the earth. But the fact that, big pharma, they that's why they're trying to control your crops and what you eat.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? They're trying to corner everything, you know?
Yep.
For those who don't want to go the medical route, because it's a big thing about people who don't want to, follow big pharma and stay away from all that because they know it's a hoax and they know it's just a money scam, a business. So they are attacking. How do they attack the people who want to go the healthy route? By buying up all the farms and creating synthetic meat and creating synthetic fruits. And they're like, we got you, and we got you
So,
regardless.
right. So either that, or you're gonna
You
have
know,
to get a piece of land that you can grow your own
grow
crops
your own stuff,
and
and
have
some
your own
some
animals.
some states don't allow that. They don't allow you to grow your own stuff.
What?
Some
Some states
Yeah,
don't
some
allow it?
states they're banning that because they're saying that you need an agricultural license and
That's
stuff like that.
crap.
Yeah, it's crazy. But anyway, going back to the holistic stuff and all that stuff.
Right.
Cleanse your
Somebody
body,
was
cleanse
asking
your
about the right. Somebody was talking about the high blood pressure. So what
high
suggestion?
blood pressure. Yes, yes. So ask your doctor. Magnesium works great for high blood pressure, for one, because magnesium, your arteries constrict like a muscle. The magnesium releases that. It Also,
Mm,
cinnamon is good to control your blood sugar. So teaspoon of cinnamon, it'll control your blood sugar. But guys, if you're not eating the sugar and you're cleansing your body, you don't need to. I still take cinnamon. I love cinnamon, and regardless, because there's certain things you're going to eat that you can't avoid. When you go out to a restaurant, it's going to have sugar in it, but you're not overloading your body while you're at home and all that stuff. Again, you're going to drink alcohol. Don't overload your body with it. Don't abuse it.
right, right,
Baby
right.
steps,
And
because
then,
like I'm not expecting you to go cold turkey on this, but baby steps. But stay consistent, discipline yourself so that you can get to that point that, you know what, you start to take from, your 95% sugar intake down to 10%,
right.
because it's
And
going to
the
be hard to
thing, the
avoid
thing
sugar
is,
and completely.
the thing is, all these little changes add up. For example, JC's aunt, she kind of moved in with us, and she was overweight when she first came to us, with high blood pressure, cholesterol was high, everything was a mess. And I've helped her to change her diet. She drinks moringa every day. She drinks tea every
Hmm.
day. She's changed her eating habits. She's down 85 pounds in the
That's
last
awesome.
4 years. In 4 years, so she's kept it off, right? Little by little. And she's still losing little by little. And we took her to the doctor, complete perfect health. Her blood sugar, her no high cholesterol, her blood pressure was good. Actually, her blood pressure went down. We had to continue some of the medicine because it was going too low now. So
Hmm.
everything's starting to shift because she's changing her eating habit, and she's changing how she's doing. And I do that for my family at the house. I cook every day. And I've seen the difference now. Now I've changed a little bit. I've been taking this elixir that a friend of mine has a company, and it has like all the herbs, like in liquid form. Like when you get the
You could do
Chinese
that. You could do
herbs.
that in the IV. They have those med spas. You can go
Oh yeah.
and do that cocktail, and they put it they intravenously in the IV, and
Right.
then you could take it in, and it's amazing. Those things work. A little
Yeah,
expensive, but then again, it's for your body, so
exactly,
it's worth it.
exactly.
You know,
And then once you start, like you know how it is, Mike. It takes a while. It takes a while for you to detox your body. It takes a long time for all those parasites to come out, and then till you finally feel okay, because you get the brain fog. And after COVID, I had brain fog for a while. So I had to like get rid of that and get rid of symptoms from having, the virus and things.
blurred vision, blurred
Yeah.
vision. My listen, I working nights and working, and I work in front of computers and all that stuff. Put a strain on my eyes and all that. So it puts a lot. So I went and got my eyes checked, and they're like, "Oh, we're gonna, give you glasses." I'm like, "I don't freaking wear glasses," and I still don't wear glasses. But my vision has gotten better since cleansing and all that stuff has gotten a lot better. That I'm not squinting and I'm not like this. I could read everything on the screen here at its fine print without having to squint. Before I couldn't see it. It looked blurry. And I had to go
Wow.
forward and I had to go like this or cover one eye and I had to or rub my eyes and just try to go like this and like to try to
Yeah.
see,
Yeah.
and nah, I could read everything and I see everything perfectly fine. And then when I got my eyes checked and I did the thing, I did it with no problem. The guy's like, "Oh, did you memorize the chart?" I'm like, "I didn't memorize the freaking chart." you know, I said he had the one that was like this, and then
Yeah.
he had the one with the letters. I said, "Give me either one." I said, whichever one you want. So I did that, and it came out good. And he was like, "Wow, that's awesome." I'm like, "Well," he goes, "Whatever you're doing, just keep on doing what you're doing. Whatever." But going
Sunday.
back to the high blood pressure, my hemoglobin levels were at 20.1. He's getting headaches, just that hypertension, just like. So I got a prescription from my doctor. It's a blood transcription to donate, not donate, but take out blood. Pretty much, you go to the donate center, like a lab corp or whatever, and they take the blood out of you. They take out 500 milliliters, and I do that every 4 weeks. The reason why I do that is to bring down my hemoglobin levels. I got them down to 14, and that's where I'm staying. No headaches, no like shortness of breath, no, you know, any type of pulsating in my body or any type of cramping. No, it gets because you have less pressure in your arteries. You have less blood.
Mm.
You have less blood, and less blood brings less pressure on your body. And number two, you're doing an oil change on your body.
Yeah.
How many of you have the same blood since you were born? You don't do a blood change like you
No.
do oil changes. It's the same
Mm.
blood. So what you need to do is start getting rid of blood. It's called blood dumping. That was the word. Blood dump. So I dump my blood every 4 weeks. And then when I go, they'll tell you if it's safe to do it. They'll check your blood levels and they'll say,
Right.
well, you're good. You don't have to come back in another 3 weeks. So I was doing it every 4 weeks. Now I don't have to go to every 8 weeks.
Oh, good.
So every 8 weeks now I go and I dump blood. It lets your body create new blood, gets rid of the blood that has mucus coating on it, white and red, and it allows your body to generate brand new blood. So I'm constantly refreshing my blood, and it's like an oil change.
Right. So Wilma's asking
Yeah.
blood dumping at a donation center
So
or
yeah, so you can get a prescription from your doctor, if depending on how your hemoglobin levels are, or just donating blood. You know how you go and donate blood? Just go and donate blood. I'm B negative, so they take my blood like, oh, please donate.
right.
It's very rare. So I go and I donate it. Because my blood is rare, I don't see that it's right to just dump it and get rid of it, discard it.
Right.
I went ahead and said, go ahead and do what you need to do, filter it out, and
Right.
Donate what you can. I couldn't do that before with the levels of what my range when I got diagnosed with malignant disease, but now my range is almost nothing
Wow.
compared to when I first got diagnosed. So now that's why I said the doctor was like, hey, whatever, the medicine's doing its job, it's doing what it's doing. We're gonna lower the dosage, and I was like, yeah, it's working.
Somebody asked, does the insurance cover blood dumping?
Now donating blood, all that stuff is free. They want
Well,
your blood. They
donating,
pay.
but the blood dumping, like if she
No,
goes
no,
to
no,
the
they-
doctor,
Listen, the doctor, it's just all he has to do is write a script for it and just do it. But even if you don't get the prescription from your doctor,
just
donate blood. They pay you for that. They pay you. So even though I have a prescription, I donate it anyway, and they give me a gift card, like $50 every time I've done
Right.
it. So I put that on an Amazon account or whatever. Go
Right.
get it,
Right.
But you don't need a prescription. I have the prescription because I
Right.
asked for it.
Right.
Doing
But
research
you
and all
can
that stuff,
go
I asked for it.
to
Just
the
donate blood. Just donate.
Yeah, the blood bus is around all
Blood
the
drive. The
time.
blood drive
I've done
buses.
it. I've done it occasionally. I'm gonna start doing that again.
Yeah,
I've
the
done
blood
it
drive. You
before.
see the bus, the red bus.
Yeah.
You
You get a
go,
movie ticket,
donate.
you get a gift card or something, or a Publix card, and you did something good, and you're doing something good for somebody else because they might need your blood. Plus, then you're
Right.
doing it good for you because you're doing that little oil change in there, get some new blood in there,
And you're taking out the pressure out of your body. You're
Yeah.
reducing the pressure.
So that's
Major difference. I used to get like headaches behind my eyes, and I'm like, oh my goodness. I'm like, damn, this is I just felt that in my neck, just like, especially when I was overweight.
Yeah, my mother
Major
suffers with
difference.
a lot of headaches. My mother has a lot of headaches, and the doctors don't know what's going on. So I have to see.
Have her
And
donate
plus,
blood.
she has
And
she was diagnosed with Alzheimer's. So
but the parasites and all that stuff contribute to that because they're fogging your brain up. Listen, all this
so I
stuff.
gotta
All this stuff triggers your body, causes your blurred vision. When your body's not up to, when you don't do an oil change on your car or do simple basic maintenance, it acts up, and that's machinery. That's machinery. So if it does it to something that's machine, your body, what do you think? Your body works off electricity. Your body works off of charge. What do you think
Right.
that we're flesh and tissue, you know that, but how do they bring you back to life? They shock you with electricity.
Yeah.
It's your body has to do. So how do you bring in electricity in your body? You ground yourself. When you're at a park, step barefoot in the grass. Hug a
Exactly.
tree. Hug a tree.
Yeah.
Eat
I'm
vegetables
always
and
hugging.
fruits. Eat vegetables and fruits that have electrical charges in them. You know, stay away from the starches. Stay away from the man-made stuff. Potatoes, you know, carrots. I mean, if you're gonna eat carrots, eat them raw. Don't boil them. You know what I'm saying? And be careful when you boil water and your stuff in water, because if you're gonna boil stuff, boil it in spring water. Because if you use tap water, there's fluoride in tap water, and fluoride is freaking horrible for you. And yeah,
Horrible.
it's in
It's
your
so
toothpaste.
horrible.
So what happens when you boil your water? The fluoride turns into fluorine. Fluorine is even worse, and fluorine is flammable. You notice some YouTube videos, you see people lighting up their faucets, the water's coming out, and they're lighting it up, and it's catching fire. There's stuff
Yeah,
in
they
there.
put
There's gas
chemicals.
in
They
there.
put
It's
all,
yeah.
yeah. And you can look it
It's
up. If you go to the city, like where you live, if you looked up like city of Boca
it's
Raton
supposed to
water
tell you the
treatment,
fluoride levels. Yeah.
they tell you the levels of all the stuff that's in the water. And you can sometimes smell it. If you just smell the chlorine, you can smell
Mm-hmm.
the water coming out of the faucet. So
Yeah.
yeah, so not
So
everybody. Now we don't want to scare you guys out there. I mean, we're talking about
it's
these
to
things
bring you
because
aware. It's to wake you up. At least to
exactly.
look. You don't have to take what we said to heart, but just think about certain things. You don't want to listen to taking the bendazole. You don't want to listen to, you know, if you want to do the blood dumping, great. If you want to try the moringa to get rid of the metals at your body, especially you'll see the difference in your skin. Diatomaceous earth, you see the difference in your skin, your nails, and your joints. Like, you don't have to take everything and do everything 100% of what we said. I do it because I've tried this and I know what works for me, and I'm going to
Right.
continue to do it. But try out, start with one thing, and if you notice the difference, and say, you know what, let me try this now.
Yeah.
Take your steps, you know. But if
Yeah.
you have the high blood pressure, start off with the blood dumping or the donating the blood, you know,
Yeah.
and then work your way up to, you know, I want to cleanse my body, I want to take the parasites out. You're gonna see a big difference, guys. You know, for those dealing with autoimmunes and stomach issues, you know, skin issues with acne and all that stuff, cleanse your body.
Oh yeah,
And with
acne
that,
is
you know,
just all the garbage inside is coming out of your pores. It's
yeah,
just all
yeah.
like you said, it's all coming out. And
hmm
and again, the poop. Like I had a friend of mine who used to say she was a poopologist because you have to look at your poop. You know when there's something wrong. Like you get diarrhea, you know there's something wrong. And also, I had an issue that I had a blockage. Like I had a blockage in my intestine, so I was getting diarrhea because I couldn't. Like the blockage was there and it was
hmm
like trying to push it out, but it wasn't going. And then finally, with some elixirs I was
was
taking,
it
I don't know what happened.
diverticulitis?
No, I don't know what happened. I was taking some natural medicine, and one day it just pushed everything out. I was like, "What the heck happened?" You know. But
What happens
thank
is the
God.
diverticulitis, there's some sacs that build up, and when they build up, they cause that blockage. And until they break down, you feel like you have diarrhea pains and you have to go, but nothing comes out. And you're pushing and pushing and pushing, and maybe one little pellet comes out or whatever.
Right.
And it's not until whatever's in that sac, and that's diverticulitis. Whatever's in that sac, if that doesn't break down, it creates a balloon, and that blocks your intestinal tract or your colon, and nothing passes. So once that breaks down, then you start to, and then it feels like somebody pulled like a plunger out. Woof.
Exactly. Exactly. Oh
Whoa!
man, I'm telling you.
I felt the rib come out. You know,
It's true. It's true.
I lost the
I
lung. I
was,
lost the
I
fucking
was,
lung. It came
I
out.
was like sick. I was sick for a good 5 or 6 weeks. I go, something's wrong with me. I can't believe it. And then I don't know. One day, finally, whatever it was broke down, and I was like, thank God, you know,
hmm
because and now my stomach's been great. It's been flat. Like I can see the difference now
Yeah,
that I don't have
low
that.
fiber diet. You don't want a high
Yeah.
fiber diet because it's going to be really gassy. Low fiber diet. You don't want gas in your stomach, especially if you have stomach issues. Low fiber
Oh
diet.
yeah. Be careful with the
Yeah.
carrots and the broccoli and the,
Be
the
careful with
stuff you eat.
be careful with the dark greens. A lot of women complain of circulation and always feeling cold. Oh, I'm cold. You know,
Why?
it's poor circulation. A lot of women like to eat, salads. They think the salads and the broccolis are dark greens. The dark greens are clotting agents. They cause your blood to clot, and they cause varicose veins.
Huh. Say, I'm
So
telling
yeah,
you, Mike,
you
you've
can eat
been
your salads.
studying.
You can eat your salads. Listen, man, men have varicose veins too. A lot of men have varicose veins. A lot of men have circulation issues. Um, it's important. And I learned a lot of this by learning how to, I thought about maybe I should get on blood thinners because of the high blood pressure stuff. And I was like, but that's pills. I mean, magnesium is amazing. It's a natural blood thinner. So start with magnesium. If do the blood dumps or the blood donations.
Yeah.
Guys, do your research. And again, don't go based off of Google, because Google's gonna give you information, and then there's information put in there to make it sound like, no, it's wrong, because big
Right. Oh,
pharma
yeah.
and all these
Google.
companies
Yeah.
they want you to fall into their trap. We're already in their trap.
Exactly.
We're already in
Exactly.
their bubble. No, we're already there. So while we're in their bubble, you got to try your best to just maintain your health with the crap they're giving us to eat. Because unfortunately, even organic stuff, as much as you may think it's healthy, it has pesticides
Yeah.
that they have to spray to kill the rodents from eating the crops.
Yep.
They have chemicals they spray to kill the rodents from eating the crops, guys. So there's still pesticides in organic food.
Yes, there are. Nothing's really organic unless you do it yourself. Okay.
Yeah.
And
And you got to be careful with the water you put in. You got to be careful with the dirt where you get it,
Oh yeah, no, you have to actually
So
order dirt.
It's
I ordered
that
dirt.
you got to be really careful now with everything Oh, watch the water, watch the dirt. Look, who would ever think? Look at the genius who started selling water. Water was free growing up. We drank out of a fire hydrant, a garden hose.
Exactly.
You go to the park, and the spigot.
Right.
That thing was so close, and you were.
Yeah.
And everybody did. That thing was disgusting. You still drank water. That shit was hot.
And we were fine.
But you were
fine.
drinking it. But now, some genius said, you know what? We're gonna sell water, and they sell you water more expensive than they sell soda in a restaurant.
Yeah.
They'll sell you bottled water, or in a nightclub. You want a bottle of water? $5.
I paid $8 the other day at Hard Rock. $8 for water, a boss.
They saw you coming. Now they're marketing water. Pretty soon it's going to happen to air. Remember, it's going to happen to air.
Yes.
It's going to be, you want good air, you got to pay for it.
Yep.
Okay?
Yep.
Because look what they're doing. They're spraying chemtrails in the air. They're putting all these chemicals in the air that are falling on us.
Yep.
COVID didn't happen. Look at when COVID hit everybody at the same time. How does that happen? It was sprayed in the air. There are islands that are secluded from the general public these are indigenous tribes that live off the land, that have nothing to do, that they don't see normal. I'm gonna say normal, but people like you and I, they live in their villages, and to get there, you got to go by boat or whatever the case, or whatever.
Right.
They had COVID. How? Dropped from the air. But anyway, I don't want to get into that because people are going to be like, oh, you're conspiracy theorists or whatever.
And who cares? We have to talk the truth and things that we learn and we find out, because it's too important.
Open your eyes. Just open your eyes to everything that's going on.
Exactly.
And medication that's from the doctor. Listen, don't get me wrong. Do I take a Tylenol once in a blue, or aspirin once in a blue? Yeah, because my mind, you remember your program, then I catch myself and I'm like, damn, I shouldn't have taken that.
Right, exactly.
Because I could have just done this. He's still programmed.
Yeah, we are programmed. So I know.
But I want to thank you. I want to thank you for having me on the show. We'll do this again.
Yes, everybody's asking for part 2. So
I appreciate everybody taking the time to listen. And again, thank you for having me. I start work in about another 45 minutes.
Okay.
And
I appreciate you. I appreciate you coming out and just talking about things you've learned to everybody, so people can, understand. And that's what I try to do on the show, is just keep giving people tips and so they can become a better person and a better.
And again, this is not just things that I've learned, guys. These are things that I'm doing.
Right.
So I'm actually I'm not only the what did they say? I'm not only just the president, I'm also the client. And like having,
Right.
you know, I'm preaching it, but I'm also doing it. I'm also, you know, a
Right.
how would you say, a
You're doing the trials. Your
a testimonial.
testimonial. That's what I
Yeah,
said.
you know.
Testimonial
So,
about
and I'm not done
there's yeah.
because you remember, with this is not something you just do and think you healed and then you're done and you don't have to do it no more, guys. You got to make it part of your everyday life, because just like you wake up every day to breathe, just like you wake up every day to drink that coffee, you know, and you're just the harmful stuff you're putting in your body. You remember, you need to get the harmful stuff out. So just because you start to feel better and certain things that, like right now, if I were to stop what I'm doing, there's no doubt in my mind that everything will start to reverse and I'll end up back to where I was. What did I do all this for? For no reason.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Exactly.
all the years of damage, you got to keep it up. You got to keep up that lifestyle. Not saying you have to go to the gym every day or whatever the case. If you want to go to the gym, that's great. But you know what? I'm not going to the gym and I lost the weight. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I'm not. Am I going to start going to the gym? Absolutely. But I wanted to get to a certain weight before I started hitting the gym again, because of, you know, my back and I've herniated disc, and you know what I'm saying. So I have to make sure
Right.
I'm at that weight that I'm comfortable. So when I start lifting the weights, I'm adding that weight back in a form of weights. I don't put no strain on my body, and I'm healthier. You know what I'm saying? I have more
Right.
energy to do it, and I can
Exactly.
see the results a
Exactly.
lot quicker because my body's already, you know, has been sort of on the right path. So, but again, thank
Right.
you. And
Thank you,
guys,
Mike.
anybody who has any questions, feel free to hit me up on my messenger. I'll give you the
Hmm.
information of the stuff I'll take. I'll send you the links that I ordered them on Amazon. And again, you know, you don't have to take everything we said as, you know, set in stone, but it's worked for me. And if it's worked for me
Right.
and the people that I've recommended it to, if it's working for them, why not give it a shot? It's not going to hurt you. You know, it's
Exactly.
actually going to do better
Exactly.
for you than hurt. So
Exactly.
thank
All
you
right.
and
Thanks, Mike.
have a
Thank you
good
so
one. Thank
much.
you. All right.
Okay, bye.
Bye bye.
So everybody, thank you for joining our show today. Mike was awesome. I hope you guys learned something. I learned something from him too. I learned a lot of things from him. I mean, I do so much reading and I do research and I try products myself to get healthier. And you know, there's so many things out there, but you just have to really be diligent. You know, you can get into communities like you know, a community group that you can you know, that it can help you in terms of all these products. Mike said he'll help you. I'll try to get some. I put one link there just for the albendazole, and so we can get those parasites out of your body, and let's get healthier. Let's get that mucus out of your body, and there's so many things that you can do. And Mike's a testament of his endurance, right? His endurance and his dedication to be better, to be healthier. And the same thing that I've been doing here too in my show for the last almost 2 years. I've been doing the podcast now and telling you guys that also you can do it too. It's, you know, it's work, but you can do it, and I've done it. I'm still changing. My body's still transforming. But you know what? It took how many years to get all that fat on you and all the stuff that you do, right? All the medications that you take, and he's like, how do you get rid of all those symptoms? I don't know about you, but I've taken medication before, and then I have all these symptoms, and then I'm depressed because I don't feel like doing anything. So then you start to get the cravings, and you're like, I have ice cream, I have chocolate, I have this, I have that, because then the food is making you happy, right? But it's not. It might give you a moment of pleasure, but in turn, you're still sick. So you have to start learning, and you have to look up your information, please. Okay, there are great doctors out there. I'm not saying that they're not all good, but unfortunately, try to find a functional medicine doctor. That's a doctor that that has been trained here in Western medicine, but also understands that there are natural herbs and things that can help. And they will give you suggestions on how to get on a healthier path instead of taking pharmaceutical medications. And as well as acupuncture. I go to acupuncture. Acupuncture saved me when I had the stroke. It gave me the ability to regain my left side. I had lost 50%. Most people didn't realize it, but I did, and I have recovered. I want to say 95%. I mean, I still got little things here and there. But for 59 years old, I think I look pretty good, and I'm walking and moving good, and dancing. And talking about dancing, dancing is so good for you. So I just want to end the show with this weekend. If you're here in Boca Raton, Florida, you must come out to Meisner Park this weekend. There's an incredible show this weekend, and I'm going to put up the flyer. There's an incredible freestyle, like disco show, and there's going to be so many artists going to be performing there. And here's the flyer: Saturday Night Dance Fever with host Denny Terrio. Come on, people, you know who Denny Terrio is. If you remember Dance Fever, every Friday night, we used to have it on the TV, and Denny Terry's Hustle, do Disco Hustle, was amazing. I got Travaris, the Tramps. We got a whole bunch of people. And of course, my cover girls, Angel's going to be performing. You got to come out and see it. Fran Jolie, Evelyn Champagne King, the Sugar Hill Gang. Come on. This is great for your health. Dancing is good for your health. So let's do some dancing. So I'm going to show a quick promo for this weekend because it's going to be an awesome weekend. And don't forget to check out our program tomorrow. So Wednesday, we have Spanglish with JC and myself hosting, and we'll be interviewing some salsa artists. And then Thursday is our freestyle edition. And this week, we got David Torres from Nice and Wild. Diamond Girls. Diamond Girls. I love that song. So anyway, so keep it going on there. You need the music. So let's do it. So anyway, I'll see you next week. I'll see what topic I'm going to have. Just keep checking on social media. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel. And there we go. Don't subscribe. Rebooted Mindset 555 at currently. And subscribe to the YouTube channel or all social media. So I hope you have a great day and have a wonderful, wonderful week. And keep on dancing.